Solving a triangle means finding all the missing sides and missing angles. You should end up with values for 3 angles and all 3 sides. This is our 11.4. We're on page 107 to work those 2 examples. So here the directions just say solve the triangle. So we want to we have 3 angles, right? A, B, and C. And we have 3 sides, A, B, and this would be C. So we need to have answers or values for all 3 angles and all 3 sides. Now some of that we already have, right? We know little c is 9.6. We know big C, angle C, is our 90-degree angle. And we know angle A is 28 degrees. Well, the first thing I see is that I have 2 of my angles inside my triangle. We can find the third because we know that every triangle has 180 degrees inside of it. So if I take 180 minus 28 minus 90, I get 62 degrees. So that has to be my angle B. And you could write it in the drawing if you want, but we certainly need to make sure we have that as one of our answers because it's one of the missing pieces. So now we need to find side A and side B. Now we're given angle A, so let's use it as our reference angle. So this would be opposite, this would be adjacent, and this is our right angle, so this would be our hypotenuse. Alright, so we can start with either side, it doesn't matter which. Let's start with opposite. So we know if we're using opposite and hypotenuse, because that's the other side that we already know, we can only have one missing piece in our problem. So if we start with opposite and hypotenuse, that would be sine. So sine of 28 degrees is equal to A over 9.6. So then remember we'd want to multiply both sides by 9.6 to cancel that out. And that leaves me with A. Over here I'm going to just do that in my calculator. I'll do 9.6 times the sine of 28, and that is 4.5. So, and I'm going to leave, it keeps going, but we'll round it at 4.5 because this one is rounded to the nearest tenth. So we want to do the same for this one. So now we have one of our missing sides. And we just have one side left to find. Now we could, well, maybe we'll put that over here too. We could use a trig function again to find the third side, but a lot of times instead of using the trig function, we'll use Pythagorean theorem. Remember, a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. So we just found a squared, or a is 4.5. We don't know b, but we know our c is 9.6. So 4.5 squared is 20.25 plus b squared is equal to 9.6 squared is 92.16. I'll subtract 20.25 from both sides. And that gives me b squared is equal to 71.91. And then I'll take the square root of that. And that gives me b is equal to 8.47, but the 7 tells me to round the 4 up to a 5. So now I have all 6 pieces. I have values for all 6 pieces. The 3 that were missing, I have the answers for in boxes. So let's do another one. Again, I have A, B, and C. Then little a, little b, and little c. Here I know that my angle C is 90 degrees. And I know that side A would be across, so this is A, is 18.2, and side B is 26.5. Okay, so now I can find side C. Because I have two of those pieces. So that's usually, you should start with the place that has 2 out of the 3. So last time in example 4, this had 2 out of the 3 given to us. This time the sides have 2 out of the 3. So we'll use Pythagorean theorem to find the third side. So I have 18.2 squared plus 26.5 squared equals C squared. I can type that into my calculator all at once, and it gives me 1033.49 equals C squared. And then I'll take the square root of that. It gives me 32.14, and so that tells me I'll leave it at 32.1. I do that to make it match the other sides that are given. So here's my first out of my missing pieces. Well, now we need to find an angle, and it doesn't matter which angle we start with. I'll just start with A. You could have chosen B, it doesn't matter. But we need to look at what we have compared to angle A. So compared to angle A, we have the opposite, and we have the adjacent. So opposite and adjacent is tangent, so we'll write tangent of A is equal to 18.2 over 26.5, opposite over adjacent. Remember that anytime we want to get an angle by itself and we have to move a trig function, we have to use a second and then the trig function. Second tangent, 18.2 divided by 26.5, and that will give me our A. So second tangent of 18.2 divided by 26.5 gives me A is equal to 34.48. Now this has 3 significant digits and this has 3 significant digits, so I want my angle to have 3 significant digits. So that means I'll use this as my last one. The 8 tells me to make it go up. So my angle A will be 34.5 degrees. Make sure that you put that degree symbol on your angles. Well, finding our last angle is easy compared to all this other work, because now that we know that A is 34.5 and C is 90, we can just take 180 minus 34.5 minus 90. And we get 55.5. So we know that's our B, 55.5 degrees. Now again, we have all 6 pieces filled in. The 3 that we're missing, we have values for.